Minutes ago, the world shifted. The embrace felt like a goodbye. A tragic death, and in that moment, a hug became their last word. Today, we're diving deep into that moment, how one woman, Kelly, opens up about the last time she held Mark. It's a story of love, loss, and the unexpected inspiration that can rise out of the darkest hour. Kelly remembers it vividly, the late afternoon sunlight streaming through the living room window, Mark's broad smile, and that hug. It was supposed to be a routine goodbye, he was heading out to the store, or a visit with a friend, but something in his eyes stopped her. He held her a little longer. His arms tightened just a bit more. And Kelly felt in that moment, this is different. She says, when I pulled away, he looked at me and said something I didn't fully register. I thought it was just his usual joke. But then, the call came. That hug became a prelude to tragedy. For those of us watching the ticking clock of life, that moment reads like a whispered warning. The final impression we leave might be the one someone remembers. And for Kelly, it turned a simple embrace into the memory she carries now. Just minutes after Mark left, Kelly's phone rang. The voice on the other end, calm, grave. 3 simple words. 1 sentence, he's gone. She froze. The world tilted. Everything she'd taken for granted collapsed. The hug, the last hug, now felt like a farewell she hadn't known she'd be saying. And here's where the story takes a surprising turn. Kelly discovered something in that pause, in the silence that followed, that shaped her path forward. She realized life doesn't always announce its departures, it sometimes sneaks in between goodbyes. And from that realization came an unexpected resolve. In the stillness, Kelly asked herself, what if I had known? What if I had hugged him tighter? What if I had asked one more question? But she didn't get those answers. What she got instead was one, live as though every hug might be the last hug. That clarity struck her like lightning. It wasn't guilt, it was awakening. She saw how one ordinary moment carried extraordinary weight. The hug she thought was casual turned out to be historic, to her, at least. And the way she carried that moment forward, well, that's the turning point of this story. And yet, it brought up more questions. How do we honor the memory of someone gone? How do we turn loss into light? That's what Kelly set out to find. In the days following her loss, Kelly did something surprising. She didn't retreat into sorrow. Instead, she made a promise, to live more fully, to love more openly, to hold that hug in her heart and let it propel her forward. She started small, calling friends she'd let slip away, writing thank you notes, planting a garden in Mark's honor. Each act felt like a tribute. And each tribute felt like a step toward healing. But here's the cliffhanger. In the middle of her mourning journey, Kelly uncovered a secret of Mark's, something he'd been working on behind the scenes. That discovery changed everything. In cleaning out Mark's things, Kelly found a locked box. Inside, sketches, journals, and a plan for a foundation, one he'd dreamed of but never spoken of. He wanted to help others like him who were facing life's fragility. He'd started quietly, without fanfare, without telling her. Kelly felt a wave of emotion, grief, surprise, pride. And the question, why didn't he tell me? But then she realized, maybe his silence was his way of letting her decide how she would honor him. So she did. She took up the mantle of his dream. And that's when the inspiration took flight. Kelly launched the foundation. She named it after Mark, but in effect, it became a living, breathing tribute to every fleeting hug, every unspoken I love you, every moment we assume will be endless but isn't. She said, every day I wake up thinking of that hug. Not in pain, but in power. If it was goodbye, let it be a goodbye that echoes into something bigger. Her mission? Helping people in midlife reconnect with what matters: family, community, kindness. Because if she'd learned anything, it was this: the hug you give today might be the one someone remembers. And now you might be wondering, what happens next? How did this foundation grow? What challenges did Kelly face? Stay with us, because the surprises keep coming. The road was not smooth. Some said, "You're too young to be thinking of this." Others, "Grief isn't a business plan." Kelly faced those voices. But she heard one louder one: Mark's silent faith in her. She kept going.